Good evening. This is the Templeton Recreational Committee meeting. I'd like to call it to order. It's September 23rd, 2021, 6:30 p.m. In attendance, we have Chris Lotting on Zoom, Candace Graves, Derek Sutton, Jessica Sutton, Aaron Davis, and Dave Manzella. Oh, sorry. Can we please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. And here we have Joy Tainter. Happy birthday, Miss Joy.
Oh, yes, is today your birthday? Yes, happy birthday.
It's 26 today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's start with approving minutes. I would like to motion to table them so that we may be able to edit them on part of Xavier says that he will do pictures for sports charging $250. We cannot pay Xavier to do the pictures, so I would like to edit the minutes before we present them. So I'd like to table them.
A second.
Anyone else? Oh, I'm sorry. Steve,
Yep, that's fine.
Aaron, Chris? Mike said, he said yes. Yeah, Joy, sure. Okay. And Candace?
Yes.
All right. Moving on.
Can I just make a motion about the minutes that we had last, the last meeting that we approved to put them in the My Town government site? They're not listed in the site, their minutes, but I would make a motion to make sure that we do that.
Okay.
That was the 26th of August?
Yes.
Or was it the 20, or was that the 27th?
26.
26th, okay. We had already approved them, but we hadn't put them into it. I didn't know if we had to make a motion to remove them today.
No, I'll do
Okay,
that.
okay.
All right. Old business. Let's check this out. All right. So Xavier is going to do soccer team pictures on Saturday, September 25th, with packages ranging from $20 to $55. The schedule and everything has been posted on the Facebook webpage. Interviews for basketball coordinators are being scheduled. A commission member will be present and offer recommendations whether to do it or to not do it, hire or to not hire, sorry. So for the old business, Templeton Recreational Soccer is permitted to use two of the porta potties, which Mayor Gansert has placed up at Gilman. Soccer update. It went off, it went good. Everybody showed up, everything happened. There might have been a little glitches behind the scene, but nobody knew. So it was great. Go team, we did wonderful. All right, so for basketball, we need to set up some sign up dates and so we can start sending information out. I am thinking that we're probably going to do them in person as well. So we get everything set up with the Unipay and
I
everything.
already have a form that I flipped out our soccer.
When will that be?
That's what we're gonna talk about now.
Oh,
Okay.
I got some copies. This is the adult.
What are these for? These are the in-person sign-up forms?
Yeah. Just flipped out the soccer logo and the word soccer. It's the soccer one with me.
Yeah, one's for kids and one's for adults.
Have an extra, you can pass them back because I forgot to give you. The kid one.
No.
It's just, and if anyone wants to see, that's just a reference point we used, it just flipped it out from the soccer
Yeah,
one.
same form.
Same form. I just took the logos
I
out
like it.
and put the thing in, so it keeps us uniformed. It's the same waiver we asked them to sign. I don't know if we've gotten, any kind of information on the waiver, but that's what we went with.
I have the one, I don't have it, I left it on the printer. Okay. All right, let's go. Do we need to motion to accept these? Or can we just go with it?
I think if it's the same form that we've already approved for soccer, we're probably okay, unless anybody has issues with it.
Does anybody have issues?
There's business going. That's what we.
Hey, we all can't be good at
That's what
everything.
we do for soccer.
All right, so like I said, we're gonna be setting up the interviews for the two people that applied to be the soccer coordinators. Kind of give up on the third one. So for the ice skating rink is going to be constructed at Houghton Park. It's-
Oh.
Yes,
Can we just go back to the basketball? Did we set the date when it's gonna run the program?
no,
We
because
didn't
I
do
want
it.
to talk with
Okay.
Xavier, see when he wants to set everything
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Um,
How about the registration? Can we do the registration?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
All right, so
I just wanted to.
So what do you think, like before Columbus Day or after Columbus Day, or the week of?
Well, Erin had a good idea, was at the last meeting, on how they used to do it. At the end of the soccer, they would have a table set up. Is that what you had said? And for our next program, so that we could take, because some of those children might want to go into the next program.
maybe
When's the last day of
2
soccer,
weeks.
the 30th?
The 23rd.
23rd, so yeah, I would recommend doing the 16th and the 23rd.
Okay,
Sign-ups there.
all right.
And we can do a,
What was that? I'm sorry, the 16th and the 23rd?
Yes. We're gonna do basketball signups at Gilman.
we should put together another evening during the week.
Yeah.
As well.
So who's gonna be there on the 16th and who's gonna be there on the 23rd?
Are these also like PDF form that put on?
October, yes.
Say-
Are these, Candace, are these in PDF form so we can also put them? on
Yes,
the
I
website?
can send them to everybody, yeah. I have them already. in
No, so we
PDF.
can put them up on the
Yes,
Facebook
we can
page.
put them on, yeah,
Okay.
I can just flip it into a Google Doc and then you can have a link to it so they can go like they've been doing for the other ones.
All right. Excellent, excellent. So yeah, let's hold off on that one, probably till like Columbus Day, like the Monday before, like October 11th, because we're gonna do the in-person on the 16th.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or should we put them up?
Oh, you
I don't
mean,
think it
I don't
hurts to
think it
put them
would.
up now.
Yeah.
Put them up now? All right.
yeah, you put them up now. We just don't have the date when the program's gonna start, so we have to just make that clear. We don't have an official,
All right.
first, game, that kind of thing.
Yeah, start date's still tentative.
Yeah.
Can we do October 19th also? It's a Tuesday afternoon and get people 5 to 7 or something.
Where do you want to be?
Probably at Gilman again. That worked out well for the soccer.
And that's for basketball.
Basketball, yeah, that's the 9th. So, yeah, so the 16th, the 23rd, and the 19th.
Oh, I see what you did there. All right, well, I can do the 19th because I'm gonna be up there.
I was gonna volunteer, but.
Oh, never mind, Derek's gonna do it. Derek's gonna do it.
Yeah, I can help with one. I'm not sure if it's the 16th or 23rd, but I can help with.
All right, what time do you want to do it on the 19th, Derek?
5 to 7.
Soccer practice on 5 to 6.
It's fine.
All right.
Make sure people have availability.
Yes,
afterwards. I can't do the 16th or the 23rd.
I can do the 16th. Can we do that at 10 a.m., the same time as soccer?
Yep.
We can do the 23rd at 10 a.m. I'm pretty sure I can.
Well, I figure we're gonna be there anyways,
Yeah.
right?
But 10 to noon both days.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That sounds good.
All right, we're good with that. Moving on.
Oh,
Oh,
do we have to make a motion to accept it and all that? Do we have to do fancy like that?
I don't
don't
think so
know
for
why.
dates.
I don't know. I'm just making sure.
No.
We don't,
Nah.
someone says it Doesn't hold up, doesn't hold up.
Oh, too bad.
Okay, making sure. Still learning.
I love you.
Still learning.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that you're on.
Huh?
I keep forgetting that,
We're on TV.
yes. Open mouth, it's so
Yeah,
good.
just making sure.
It's okay, we gotta keep it interesting.
They're gonna tune in for something.
Okay, so I think, is that everything with basketball, the date, when it's gonna start?
Yep.
Yeah, we have to wait. Okay. I just want to make sure.
All right, moving on to the skating rink. Skating rink will be constructed at Holton Park with signs that say skating from sunrise to sunset and use at your own risk. Is everybody all set with that?
Yeah.
All right.
And that's good enough for the insurance company, just to post the signage.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And who's paying for the signage? Is it coming out of our department?
It may come out of our department.
Okay.
I can find out.
Okay,
It may,
okay,
because the selectman handed it off to community
right.
services.
I just wanted to make sure it was just for the record, so that
Right.
everybody knows where the sign's coming from.
Right.
We get credit for our sign. You never know.
All right. Candace,
Yeah,
I know you gave us a PowerPoint,
yeah,
but it's too big to go over today.
okay.
So could you please give us a brief overview of the Jersey Watch?
Okay, so what happened was I've gone on to all the different platforms and looked at all different ones. I've gone to Leominster Recreation and looked at what they had. I went to Lunenburg. For many years, I do race wire, I do all the run signups ones. So I know how the platform will work. So basically, I had one I liked, team whatever, but it's just too complicated for a coordinator to even muster around it. It's just too much. So I just want to let you know that if we were to go with something like the school system has, like Family ID, it costs just to do 200 unique people to register players, $1,295. And then they add another system like the arbitrary costs another $690, and then there's licensing. And then I talked to the lady, she's like, yeah, this isn't for us. We don't do you guys. So that was a no-go. And so all the different platforms from running to sports and so forth, they can go from $1,000 to $7,000. And I found this one, it's called Jersey Watch. It's very, very basic. So you don't have to be like very knowledgeable about these platforms. So our coordinators wouldn't have to know a lot about getting into to get what they want from it. And what it would be was, it would be for the coordinators so that they could have a page and they could have all these signups on there. So it would take all the forms and registrations and it would lead them to the Unipay system for the town so they can make the payment there. So they would register, all the coordinator would be in there and they can get the stuff. Our treasurer can go in there and know how to match it up with what they're seeing in the Unipay system. So it would keep all of our documents in one place for all the registers. So it also, if we wanted to do a buzz, if we had a fundraiser, it would give us the names and emails for our commission so that we could put out a thing out there. So right now we have it set up that all these forms are going to, they have to make copies. The coordinator's getting a copy of these forms. And then I would assume either Jessica or Derek are getting it. And then the coordinator has to go in and put every single kid's name and address into their personal computer in order to make their teams schedules and so forth. This will give them a platform where the user is the player, the parent, they're putting their own data in so that our coordinators don't have to do that extra stuff. You know, so it's just a matter of making their life easier. It's a tool for them. We have tools. We have the town website. Is a tool that people can get in touch with you through the email and tells what we're about, the templetonmass.gov. And then we have the Facebook account, which is great, but the problem with the Facebook, it's a living document, so it moves. So if you wanted to go say, oh, I seen 2 weeks ago, where is that registration? Where is that registration for soccer? You're gonna have to scroll through a lot. This is giving them their own little, it's actually a website. They'll have their own page. They have any, like, if you want to print it out or you want to register, it'll all be there. They get their own domain name. The company, Jersey Watch, sets up a background. So you can pick the color, we can pick the color, what's going to be in the background. It could be multiple sport balls. It could be, our logo. It could be whatever. And they design that. That comes free. All all of it, I asked Susie, I gave her a link to go into it because she was our coordinator and asked her to look through it to see what she thought. How, she can download PDFs off of it to her computer and stuff. And I asked her to look at that stuff and she said that she didn't say it was bad. She said that she could work with something like that and that she really wanted to have something like that as a coordinator because putting in at very late after work, all of those kids' names and their addresses in the computer wasn't, she did 100, she did 124 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're asking her to do. And I didn't think that would be, something that, anybody who signs up is a coordinator, this is to be there to. And that way, we can have our treasurer in it, we can have the chair in it, they can have access to these documents. And that's an issue that we've had in the past. We're keeping our documents together. So if Susie leaves, and she leaves the program, our coordinator leaves, all of our program, what she had, the records are all there for registration when we move into that online registration format. It's $319 for the year. It comes with a website, it comes with your own domain name. You can put as many users into it. So in each rec department that we have, program that we have, soccer can have its own page. The basketball can have its own page, softball coordinator can have their own page. They can have their own, put their schedules up on it. We can give that address out to anybody in the public, so it makes it easier for us to say, and they can go right to it and find anything out about our program. So if you're new to the town and you don't know where to look, on the government page, on the templetonmass.gov, we put a link on it. They visit that, they see the link, they click the link, it goes there, it tells us about the next program. And we've got a lot of residents that were upset because they didn't know about the registration, because when we used to be online and we used to have all these things, and we apologize, but we're shifting to rebuild everything. It's a rebuilding and we're trying. So this would, if we were to go with a program like this, it would allow the coordinators to be in one place and allow us to monitor it as our commission would do, and it would keep all of our documents for these programs unified.
So-
Now, where is this outfit from?
This one, I forgot. It's all on there. It's all on their site. I
But-
sent a link to it.
Is it anybody local?
No, you can't find a local software company like that with a program
No,
like that.
maybe not with a program like that.
Right.
But don't you think it's better to help the local people rather than sending it out somewhere?
There isn't a platform that like in that kind of a system.
Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's going to be more work, but it will also help the economy in our own area. And I mean, I like going local.
Right.
I don't like going out of
Do you know
town.
anybody who has a program like this or?
Me? No, I have no clue. I personally would go with John's Sports Shop because they've been doing things like that for years, and it always seems to be very.
No,
well.
she's talking.
I'm talking about Joy. I'm talking about it's an online registration system. So you would put your
But I'm talking about the shirts being
Okay.
purchased
Well,
locally.
those
They
are
are, those are
yeah,
local.
we did those local.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear
Yeah, this
anybody's
this
names.
this is about an online platform to put the registration of the so instead of, right now, we're gonna move into a we voted to do a paper form. I gave you the paper for the
Right.
registration. But this is talking about in the future to get a program like this so that our residents can do online registration. So that they don't have to show up at the park and register their children. They have more access to it. So it's a platform where they put in the names, they put the size of the shirt, and then they would link to the Unipay town payment site so that they can make their payment to their to the rec program, the soccer or the basketball program they're signing the child up to. So right now, we
And
do
what will the $300?
The the $319, it covers it for a whole year. So it gives you the service of being on their platform for a whole year and using their system to register, to keep all your documents and everything. And it's a unified
And
program.
that covers all sports.
Yes,
That's
it's,
319,
yes,
so
it's
it's
all
a
of it. It's
1
for 1
year
year. It covers it. You put it, you just put the, you put the thing in. I use it, I use Race Wire to sign up for Turkey Trot.
I-
It's very similar to that.
I do like the Jersey watch. I mean, it sounds great. I did
Right.
look it over. It looks good.
Right,
I think we do need to table it at this time. We should
Right.
probably continue with the in-person signups for the basketball. We do have to confirm with the town that we can tie this to Unipay and, we want to make sure that all our, Ts are crossed and Is are dotted.
right, and that's why I wanted to make a motion to send it up to them so that they can look at it and so they can decide if we can have something like this for our coordinators. Because, because this would be an online presence, but like I said, I can send them all the stuff, so if I don't know how to word it, but I'd like to make a motion to send this up to, I don't know whose department this would be, the select board. the treasurer,
I would send it to the town administrator's
the
office.
town administrator, and ask them to see, this platform and this tool would be a tool for our coordinators to keep all their stuff, so that as a commission, that we could be able to monitor what's going on and how, and so it matches the Unipay system, what's going in, so it give us the documents, the way to do it.
I second that motion to move it up to the administrator, and I can help present too if necessary.
Okay.
So I would like to, so when's the next time we got to do signups after basketball?
That would be softball.
And when do we start those?
Yeah,
Be
during
towards the end of
basketball.
basketball, yeah.
Right, so
Chris, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm just thinking about wondering if we send it to the town administrator, what exactly are we gonna ask them for?
I was thinking if we're gonna do that, then we should just start that like next year.
Well, the thing about these things is, you push it, and then the next thing you know, because we're gonna have to go over the Unipay, the payments and what's in the Unipay. How each lever does, what soccer,
Yes.
when it's set at and whatever, and we'll have to vote on all that to have that, the treasurer.
Yeah, so we have to
We do
discuss
that.
with town administration and the town treasurer to make sure that, this system is compatible with Unipay and that, we can do this without having all kinds of issues electronically.
Like I said, I don't want them to be confused, we're not gonna use the lever, there's two levers on Jersey, the Jersey one. One
So do
lever-
we vote? So I'd like to table the decision to use Jersey Watch until we could take a little bit closer look at. I mean, can we push that till the next time? There's a lot more to consider than cost, right? So there's a lot of, I'd like to just take a look a little bit deeper at some of the integration points, some of the security and privacy controls around the site and that kind of stuff, right? There's a lot of companies that do this. I see you captured a bunch of them there, but there's a lot more, I think, to consider than just price.
I've talked to a lot of the companies, I put my name out there, they called me up, I asked them a million questions about different things, but yeah.
But there's things, like PCI compliance and all that there's different types of compliances to hold this type of sensitive information. I just want to make sure that they have all those things, accredited or whatever, right? So, and then I don't know what the integration is with Unipay, but I don't know if it's just a link that you set over there, but it's a more of a technical discussion. So I don't know if there's somebody, maybe I'd be willing to do it, reach out to the town to talk about, technical integration points with Unipay or something like that.
Yeah, well, like I said, we want to offer the residents of this town a way to register online, a way for our coordinators to have all that information that they can go into, because a lot of the things that we have right now, our coordinators are not allowed to go into, like they're not on the Facebook account right now. They're not on the government site, so we need to ask them. I believe.
No, I understand. I mean, I understand all that and I agree. It's just which system it would be the best for us, right?
Yeah, so I think we are going to table this right now, Chris. I think, we can look into it a little deeper if you want to do that. And I think at the same time, while you're doing that, we can initiate the conversation with town administration to, see if this is a viable option. And then, we can, at the next meeting or whatever, we can discuss it.
Yeah, and let me know if there's somebody on the technical side with whether they have like a support contract with Unipay or something. There might be some integrations there or a link, but I assume it's some type of integration between the two systems. And sometimes you have to hire a consultant to do those types of things. So I'd be interested in talking about that.
Anyway, it's, like I said, I just want to move this up to the next level for them to find something that our coordinators can go into that our treasurer and our chair can be into so that these records can be kept and put into a program. And this button to go to Unipay is just, it's basically you put a button, it's basically a link to the next link. That's what it is. It's not like, and if they can look at it and if we have any technical people that can look at it and see, you know.
All right,
Like I
yeah.
said, right now, I use RaceWire, I use Run Sign Up. I've used many of them in the running world. Every day, my child signs up for a race. I'm on a different platform. I'm giving my name. I'm
Yeah,
giving my address.
nobody's arguing the
Right.
need for it.
Right, and that's what I just want to, like I said, I have no vested interest in this company or any company at all. This is just one I spent hours in talking to people and just trying to find something for the residents. I feel like they need to have an online registration option. We see it, we've seen it on Facebook where they were asking for it in conversations that they were messaging us and asking us why we didn't have that anymore. And we tried to do like the Google thing where it sends it to you, but that's just a nightmare.
Yeah, ask for
Yeah,
permission to see it.
yeah, it's just a night, that's free kind of forms, you know? And the town does the application forms where she sent, you can fill it out and it goes to her. But when you're talking 124 people and more in a platform, and it's gonna tell you the jersey size, it's gonna tell you, you know, what the contact name, did they sign this, the waiver they have to sign online and stuff. You have to find a platform that's gonna do all that stuff.
Yep.
And that
So-
stuff's gonna cost you thousands and thousands of dollars if you hire a contractor.
All right.
Yeah, so there's two motions on the table right now. One to discuss with town administration and one to table this till next meeting. So, yeah, I seconded the one to go ahead and move this to town administration.
Joy? You want to move it up to town administration? Do you?
Sure, why not?
Aaron?
No, I think we need to look at it further before we.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should table it.
All right, Chris?
I think we should take a look at it a little bit further.
All right, so motion denied, we're gonna table it so everybody can look at it a little further. All right, now maybe move on. All right. So, Sean Hamilton asked about the electronic scoreboards that were donated to the Gilman several years ago to the softball field. We have pictures over here of said thing. So I would like to put a motion to recommend the placement of the sign that's at Gilman on the softball field, so we can move it up to the board of selectmen so they can do it.
Was it donated to the rec department or was it donated to the
The
high
board,
school?
board of select.
To us,
And was it, it's for softball or is it for the baseball field?
it's a softball.
Where's it getting hung?
It's a softball field. We have to figure out which one we want to go on.
It probably should go on the main one right by.
Yeah,
Big
so
one,
maybe-
by the snack shack.
I think that makes sense. I second that motion,
That it goes on the main one, you didn't hear it.
that we move it to the select
Oh,
board.
select board. I left that one.
All right, Joy,
Yes.
Candace,
Yeah,
Aaron,
Yes.
Dave, and me as well. So we're gonna move this forward to the selectmen. All right, I gave you, so, as you know, I've been trying to get people to come in and give me estimates for the concession stand. I'm not having any luck. I did have one electrician, Steve Goodwin, come out. He was the only one that said they would come, and I gave you his estimate of what he would have. I did come to town hall and look through the Gilman folder, and there has not been a permit pulled on that in 12 years. The little sketches that they do have for it has stairs, like to go up. I don't know what the original
I think
plan
the
was.
original plan was to have storage above
Okay,
instead of having the container up there. A lot of that work up there was done volunteer.
yeah,
So it was all,
All of the work was volunteer.
yes. Yes, Joy, all of the work was volunteer.
All of the work.
yes.
And unfortunately, getting plumbers and electricians to touch someone else's work, even like the bathrooms where the concrete's already
Mhm.
poured and the rough plumbs there. It's gonna be really difficult to get someone to come in and touch someone else's work because they have to warranty that and guarantee that. So we might run into issues where they're gonna wanna dig that up and inspect it.
Oh,
I was told to
No.
call the inspectors and
Mhm.
see if they would each come down and say if like that's done okay. If this is done okay, what would they recommend and things like
I
that.
do have a question on this whole project.
Yes,
Is this even us? No, is these bathrooms us? I mean, we're the rec commission, I watched the meeting last night from the select board and it was made clear that they said that our job is only to make programs.
okay.
Well,
who does it come
perhaps
on?
they don't know what's going on either.
They're the select board and that's what,
So,
That's
yeah,
what
I
he
don't,
said
I don't
last
think that we would hire these people. I think that we can pull the quotes in and then
We could get the
pass
bids
those
from
up to the select board and allow them to make a decision.
is it the select board? Does it
I
go
just
to
want to get the
advisory?
bathrooms finished. I don't care about the kitchen part, just the
CPC.
bathrooms.
Um,
Don't worry about all the other
What
stuff
did you
later.
say, Justice?
Planning board.
Planning board?
That could be another question.
I don't want
for
us
the
to get in
town
trouble for
administrator.
stepping on someone's toes, because it seemed like last night, it seemed like, I mean, were you there at
Yes,
the time?
I
It
watched it.
seemed like he said that that wasn't our lane, and that's what I got from what he said.
Right.
And I don't want to be voted, I mean, Jessica's done some work on this, but I don't want us to keep on continuing if it's not us that gets those bathrooms finished.
Well, the whole thing started as volunteers.
Right.
We have never paid out anything. And we've had many volunteers and they've done a great job. And for them to say this is pretty damned insulting in my book. Because it has been done, and it started with Mickey Kirby and Chris Stewart. And, well, I've got all the names here, Phil, too.
Bill Moulton.
Phil Moulton, yes, and, you know, they've done all that work for nothing, and then to have somebody step in and say, oh, that's not your job, well, it has been their job for years and years and years, and I'm probably gonna stick around to make sure it stays their job.
But
And you're-
I think at this point, we'll probably continue to try to get quotes. And then
Definitely,
we'll push that up
definitely.
to the select board once we
Yeah.
get, some quotes in and let them make the decision.
Okay.
That's not a decision we can make.
Yeah, but like
No,
Aaron
it's
said,
I just
nobody
wanted to
really
be on the
wants to go
record,
in
so
and
if they're
touch it.
watching this, any of them are watching this
Yeah.
tonight,
Right.
any of the select board members, that we're not going out of our lane, we're just gathering information, I guess.
Just trying to get it to.
I
Yeah.
think the issue that was brought up last night, and I think it was just maybe a misunderstanding about the agenda item that said collaborate with NRSD.
Okay,
What we had talked about collaboration was finding out if we could share the porta potties.
right.
Yes.
Or finding out if they're gonna
Finding
be in the park at the same time we're in the
Exactly.
park, so that we don't, one of us have to
Exactly.
tell our parents to go home.
Right, we were not, this board was not entering any contracts or
Right,
anything, that's not your,
Right.
that's not your job.
Right.
That's the selectman's job.
Right,
So in my opinion, and I can see what the town administrator thinks, but I don't think it's harmful for us to gather
okay,
quotes or reach out to Monty Tech, which I did, to see if they might be interested
Right.
in the plumbing project or electrical or, but ultimately it will be the selectmen's.
right. I just want it on the record, so you're saying it now, so it's being recorded, that that's how we're talking
It is.
about
So
it.
it's always
you
been
know.
that way, even with the playground
That's
up,
all.
even with the playground up at Gilman, we got 3 bids as a rec committee, and
Right.
those bids had to go to the select board.
Okay.
And the select board was the one that picked the bid that they wanted. And then the
Okay.
rec committee handled setting up the playground. It's
Okay.
gonna be the same thing probably with Gilman. Get the bids, we give the bids to them, they pick who they want, and then we handle scheduling them to go in
Okay,
and do it.
I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted to make sure it was on, because it could be new people listening to this, or maybe somebody on our select board listening to this, and we just want to make sure that we understand we're not in their lane. That's all. I thought that might probably be a smart thing to do.
Permission to speak from the chair.
Yes,
I think because I was there at the meeting last night, I think what Mrs. Primus said was one of the issues, but I think the other issue was this was exactly the issue with the scheduling, because if anybody remembers, parks are specifically under the select board until after next fiscal year, because that special warrant is on the agenda for the fall town meeting, where you guys become recreation into parks and recreation. So I think that's the question of, are they out of their lane with trying to schedule for the fields in general? I think that was the question, because technically you're not I think technically you're not the trustees, or you're not in charge of Gilman until that process is complete.
Yeah, I don't think we were trying to schedule. I think it was
No, I
more
just
of
wanted to
trying
know
Yeah,
what
we're
get
trying
an
not to
understanding.
step on each other, to play nicely in the park
Yes.
together.
Yeah,
pretty much,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I wanted to know when they were there so I could tell the soccer coaches
Yeah.
when this field was available.
And we don't want, yeah, so they don't be surprised, oh, surprise, rec is there on Saturdays.
You're having soccer practice. The 3-year-olds did.
Yeah, exactly. It was, because we haven't gotten the direction, I believe. I mean, I think that the scheduling, who makes the scheduling in the park and all this stuff is something the select boards have to make. They have to make it clear on how they want this to go. Like, is there gonna be a calendar that we all write on? Is there gonna be, there has to be direction given to us from them, I think, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. On how we do the scheduling in there, like how they want us, you know, because I see in this pack, there's a, if you want to transition to this application, it's about the parks, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, it puts it in the same conversation, yeah.
So that draft is what was put before us a couple of years ago as an idea for the permits and application and stuff for like the softball tournaments and everything that go up there. I figured I would
And
bring
that's,
it before us.
and then again, that brings it right back to what they were talking about, I think last night, about charging fees and stuff for the park. That would belong in, the select board would have to set all that stuff, and this paperwork would have to be something that they, I mean, we can recommend that we like it, and we can
They
send a
have to approve it.
recommendation, yeah, and they would have to be the approval.
Yep.
Yeah, so again, this is again for them to understand that we understand our lane. Yeah. I mean, this was all, what was this all drawn up by the illegal people?
I think so. Where did you find that?
It was from the previous board.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
I
like,
mean,
this
you
looks
and-
like
me
similar
and
to
Chris
something
would have
that they had something else I seen the select board have, it's fancy like that with the big draft. on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like something that belongs to them. Belongs to select board. I mean, if they have a copy of this,
they should
then they
have a
must,
copy.
I mean, it looks like, to me, it looks like maybe a lawyer or somebody did this for the town. Or maybe the administration or something, somebody had drawn this, I mean, this is really fancy. So. This is- I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really say who is prepared this paperwork, does it?
So is this something they want to do, is start charging for use of the parks? the
Oh,
select
they-
board?
We've
We
done that.
always have.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
For
so
like
that,
softball tournaments.
oh, so they're just
For outer
rewriting the,
counters.
how we, or how they do it. Okay,
yeah, and were these the prices, what they had charged? I don't know. What has been charged? I think that's the big thing. I think that the select board discovered that the parks were under them and didn't realize that. And Gilman Waite, you have that whole history thing between the town and the school about Gilman Waite. And I think that they're trying to strain it all out, so it's no longer a, I don't know what you call it, a myth they just want to strain it all, you know what I mean? Strain it out. And it would be them, any fees in this town or any contracts in this town would go through them. They're the contract makers. And they would, like, if Adam signed anything, he doesn't, because they vote to say, you've got to sign it for us.
Mhm.
But they are the signer of contracts, they are the setter of fees. It's their department, the advisory board, their thing is they advise the town if we should vote this way or we should do something, and they do set a lot, they do release some funds. But it looks like this all goes down to the select board. I mean, we can make a motion to ask them to do this, to start making the ball to unify us, so we understand our lane and if they, I mean, because this is gonna have to be addressed before spring because of the softball leagues. They're gonna ask for tournaments up there.
Right.
We can't get into contracts to book those things legally, our commission. So we have to maybe make a motion to ask them to get us a contract and set fees for these out of town leagues that are not Narragansett or rep.
If the select board is setting the fees and doing the contracts,
they're
I
not-
don't think at
they
this
never
point.
have.
On the bottom. the
They were
copies from the
always
department.
just done by the guys
So
that were on the board.
maybe we can reach
Right.
out and
We
try and
never
get an
had-
understanding of who's
We never had
responsible.
any input.
If they want us to be responsible for it, then we can look at it, vote on it. If they want to be responsible for it, then they can take that on.
Okay.
I think.
So would you maybe, do we have to make a motion to send it back to them, to ask them to look at this for us?
I think that it would be helpful for this board to make recommendations
Right,
to the Board of Selectmen for
Right.
what they would like to see.
right.
And then
Well, they already have this.
Yeah, this looks like something that came out of, the
So,
offices.
it would maybe make sense for this board to really, dig into that,
Right,
change what you want to change, add what you want to add, and then give that edited version to the selectmen to
Right,
say,
like,
this is
so-
what we recommend.
so say we think that they should, like, say they said $100 to book that thing for the whatever, we feel like, I mean, like, for me to book, Templeton Fishing Game Club, it can cost me $175 to $250. I mean, if you're only charging $100 for wear and tear of a park, groundskeeping and rubbish taking away, maybe
Right.
that's a little bit low for 2021.
Right.
And we can't feel bad about any program that we would ask them to pay that, because they have the opportunity to pass it along with their fees in their program, so.
So we should send this to the town attorney first.
No,
It's already been there, it looks like.
no, this board should make a decision about a final draft that you're comfortable with. Like Candy said, are you gonna increase the fees? Are you gonna, add anything? And then what the draft that you're comfortable with will go to the selectmen for them to either approve, deny, run by the attorney.
Yeah.
Do we want to table this until next meeting so we have a chance to go through it?
Seems like a lot, but, yeah.
That seems like, it's up to you.
And
Yeah,
maybe-
so I think to just expand on what you're saying, I think we should probably all read this, see if anything needs to be edited.
Yeah.
Get a new copy
What,
put
this one?
together,
Do you have,
make a
Jessica, do you
recommendation,
have any
move
more
it
of
to the
these
select
drafts?
board, who will then review it and then it has to
I
be
just
town.
wrote it on.
I just.
You should have one. I think everybody else has
Is
one.
that, was it underneath your book when you put it down when you came? No, he doesn't have it.
I don't have one here.
Can we make some copies at the end of the meeting?
I got an
for us?
extra.
Oh,
Oh,
go
you have an
ahead.
extra?
Thank you.
All right, we have an extra. There you go.
All right, so I motion to table this the permit thing, the prices,
Okay.
until next meeting, so that way everybody has a chance to look at it. Chris, do you need one of these? Or do you still have yours from like years ago?
Yeah, if you could send one via email, that'd be great.
All right,
So do we have this in a Word doc, or is this just a PDF or
I got it sent to me in an email. So I
as a
think
PDF or?
it's important.
Okay,
I will,
that's good.
when I get home, I will.
Because I would hate to have to create this by hand.
Right. All right.
Yeah, it'd be great if everybody could get a soft copy to mark it up.
Okay, so I'll email it to everybody when I get home.
And, I was gonna say, yeah, we should all look into fees in general, like in the different areas. And not just about a rec too, you gotta look at the fact that when if you book like Templeton Fishing Game Club, just for the day, like the whole thing, what it costs. I mean, cause I just see the number, what did I say, $100 for something, I'm like, yeah, I don't know where you're booking anything for $100 these days.
All right, yeah, well, while we're looking into that, I think,
Yeah.
before next meeting, we can come up with a new number.
All right. I think that we are all set. Does anybody have anything else?
I do want to talk about, because I've seen something with someplace else, that we need to go over what our policies are, like officially, like vote what our refund policy, because we don't have it officially in our records. Our policies on if somebody acts up during a game, what will we do as a, like what we want the refs to do, how they want to handle that, those policies. I have these policies that I've gathered, that different ones that we've had through the years, or statements that were
Do we
gathered.
need the soccer coordinator here to discuss that?
Well, I think that many of these sports have they have refs, they have people that will act out and come on to the field, or, a parent or something.
Oh,
So
that's
what-
Gardner, that's not Templeton.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I don't agree with you on that.
but there's a policy to be had to say that the rec commission says this is what's gonna happen. And they've been out there, like, somebody has put, like, on Facebook on behalf of this or that of the town, and I don't know if we need to get any of these things covered again by the select board to say that the policies are right. Because, I mean, like, for instance, this one comes from, and I can give you all these ones. Some of them come from another town, but most of these come from the things that we've had over the years. Okay, one thing, and I just want to put this out, and we can just go over this in our next meeting, but one thing I want to say is, this is what comes from the Templeton swim class, okay? This was given to the kids, I had a copy of it, and it tells me that, it tells
Chris, I'll scan and email this to you, okay?
It says, I think I sent
Thank
this
you.
out. When I sent out the things, I sent it out with the slides, anyway.
Okay.
It says no lifeguard on duty, so children are the responsibility of their parents, the guardians at all times, and it may not just be dropped off at the end of the lessons. If you are not a member of the club, you must leave the beach and area following the end of the lessons. All parents and guardians must stay in the marked learn to swim area during lessons. All lessons are weather permitted. Instructors will alert you in the conditions of the lessons. These things are given out on behalf of the town of Templeton on behalf of our rec department. And so what I'm saying is I want to make sure that whatever we're putting out, anything that seems like it's kind of legally or kind of like saying, like, there's another one that came out. It was, it said parents. Parents and family members, please be aware, no child is allowed unsupervised in the cafeteria school buildings, no matter their age. No standing on the tables or running around and playing games. It is not allowed in the cafeterias. We are there for rec basketball and other rec programs. Please respect the school's buildings. The cafeterias are only used for changing for games and team meetings and fundraisers. All school buildings are not playgrounds. Nobody for any reason during rec basketball and other rec programs and games and practices, etc., should be on the stage of Templeton Center, the elementary school, the middle school, and no children are allowed unsupervised in the buildings. Please respect the school buildings. These are the kind of statements that we put out there that have been put out there for discipline reasons. What I'm saying is we should have some unified place where we say that these are what we don't want to see this happening. And we don't want to get it to the point where the school calls up and says, hey, we got on camera a bunch of people from the rec program is running around their building. So if we have these unified and get them approved to say that these are some of the things that we stand by. If we were to do like, we've done, now some of this.
Did you pull these from somewhere or did you type them up?
Some of them I pulled up from things that we've had in the past, and some of these things I typed up.
Okay.
Some of the ones that in the first page where you see the policies, some of them are also integrated from the Leominster rec program, and some of the things that they said, I said, oh, well, we used to have a program that we did. We had kids who went they went to the movies, and we charged money so they could go to the movies. They went to the movies, they put them on a class. And if the program, you take the money and the program doesn't happen, what happens? How do you refund the money? What is your policy? You know, these are things that if you come into these things, you're gonna have these questions. You know, right now, we told everybody,
I have a question. So when my kids get handed Chromebooks, we
right,
got a policy procedure,
Right.
parents have to sign it.
Right.
So what if during basketball registration here,
right,
you have to read it and then you have to sign it?
right, you can do that.
Would that work? Could that be like?
Right.
That's not too much, but.
Could you do it as one page on the back of the registration form?
Yeah, we could do that, yeah.
And then you're not giving them this big pamphlet
Right,
and they can
right,
just sign it and.
Make smaller font.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I'm just saying, just to tell people, this is what we don't, what if they're doing basketball and they're in the building, we don't want parents to just drop off the kids and, oh, go have fun at your basketball program. And then we find out they're running around on the stage, because it actually did happen. A couple of years ago, the kids, when the building for Templeton Center opened for the first time,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of kids were running around inside because they didn't know, because it was new, and we get it, how it ended up happening. I'm not knocking any parents or anything how it happened, but there was a statement put online, this is where it came from, about, there was one about, there's another line that, the other one came from about the surveillance cameras being in the school. That we're allowed to be there in a rec program
I think I
situation, the
posted that.
school allows us to be in their building, and we need to respect their, their building. So it's just, these are kind of things that come up when you're in these, did everybody get a copy of everything? Did I get it up down the thing? Okay, so these are just different things, and it says like, so if you had like a whole thing, like, so say we get a program where we have this little front thing for the coordinators, or maybe it's on our, the Templeton Mass.gov one. It's just different things that we say about our programs. The one from swimming is part of Templeton Fish and Game Club rules and part of what, the program itself said, yeah, Terry, whatever, like, you're not gonna stay here because you're not a member or whatever. So these were things that she gave out to her, as a coordinator, she gave out to her program, and they have certain ones, but I want to make sure that anything that we want and the town wants, the selectmen want to make sure it's covered for liability issues. So if a kid falls and they're on that stage and they're running around, did the commission say you can't do that? Did we
Right.
have a policy someplace that said they couldn't do that? Could that come back as a liability issue? So some of these, like I said, there are many different ones, different ways of looking at different things. From like if a coach is fighting, up in the middle of a game, a parent is overzealous. How would they handle
Or
that?
a coach.
Or a coach, and yeah, that's what it says. It says coach, it says assistant coach, it says rep, it says parent, it covers them all.
So I
But
think
they're
you're
all
right.
misbehaving.
But I think it needs to be on the applications for whatever sport and be specific to
Right.
where it's at. And, specific to the sport, where it's at, and also the rules and guidelines of whether it's at the school or
Right,
park or whatever.
So then we
So
gotta
it's
figure,
something definitely that needs to be drafted and
Right.
put on.
so. Are we gonna go to that? So we need Xavier to tell us where we're gonna have basketball.
Mm.
Is he gonna do like, the kids at Templeton Center again? Or is he gonna keep them all at the middle school and the high school?
I think the same rules.
Well, they,
So, yeah, you can put a blank, you can just say that the school, the gyms of Narragansett. You can just say from the, you could write all the different, you can write the middle school, the high
Well,
school.
the rules are
you
gonna be
can do
different
that.
this year as well, because I would assume that they're going to be wearing masks indoors, and are they gonna limit how many students or how many parents are allowed in with the students? Are they gonna even allow basketball where the schools are, the
Yeah,
school
that's right,
teams
they're
are
in a
using it
mask
as well,
situation, yeah.
and with COVID going on and having to clean up and stuff, like what,
I do,
that's gonna have to be determined before we even move forward with
Right.
even putting
I
these
do-
on the website.
I did notice something the other day that caught my attention. There's, they did signups at Phillipston, that building in Phillipston, they did signups in that building. So that building is still is probably not a part of our school district. But it is a gym. I don't know if they would want it like a fee or something to help, because they have electricity in it and stuff. And maybe we could use the Phillipston gym, and then that way, it's not the same, because it's not in the school, it's not under the school rules, because it's no longer, is that building in control by the schools, controlled by the Phillipston, it would go under their town policy rules when it comes to masks, whatever Phillipston's town
That's-
policy is.
Yeah, I don't know how that would
Yeah.
be crossing town lines.
But the building is a building, and it's, something to maybe look into possibly.
I can follow up with the Board of Health regarding the school issue.
And probably the grounds person at the school would be the one,
Right,
it used to be Molten, I don't know who it is now.
okay.
very well, I'll email.
And the thing with Phillipston is you gotta remember, it's not covered under the school insurance anymore, so how is that
Right.
going to work?
Oh, so they
If
might
the
not
rec
have insurance in the
department
building
uses,
anymore, yeah.
it's owned by Phillipston no more, it's
Right.
not owned by the Narragansett Regional School District.
Right, so they probably, they might even become, I mean, who knows what they have insurance in the building, and you're right. Just different things to look at,
Mhm.
All right,
trying to have a program.
last thing. All
Okay.
right. For the-
So do you want us to all come up with something, or you coming up with something? We'll go on the back of that paper?
I think first you should find out if basketball is even allowed to happen, and then move
Okay.
forward from there.
Okay.
We'll do that. So we're gonna table this. good idea, but we're gonna table this
Okay.
so we can find out if we're gonna have basketball. Now, for sponsorships, for like team t-shirts and banners and all this and all that, does anybody want to be in charge of it? Going once, going twice.
Nope.
All right. Well then, I like large iced coffees, 1 cream, 1 sugar, light ice. All right, so I make a does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, weren't you going to do something about last month's
Oh, last month's meeting minutes.
notes or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to
Table
edit the
everything.
part where we said that we were gonna pay Xavier Mold to take the picture.
Right, now what was that supposed to be?
That's what we said, but then we found out afterwards that
Oh.
we can't pay him.
Oh.
So we're just gonna highlight delete.
So we can't pay him for the role of being the photographer?
Exactly.
Is that, who said that?
That's fine.
The town said we can't pay for a service from a photographer?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Well,
missed
he's-
that. I
he's
missed that
also-
memo.
Yeah, I do too.
He's gonna be an employee too, if he's our basketball.
Oh, so, okay, I get it. So he can only make off the pictures. So the next set, if he does it again, then he would have to. Now, is that any photographer? So,
If he's an employee of the town.
If he would have to
Okay.
increase the cost of taking the pictures, of the pictures, and that way
If you wanted to
he
make
would
money.
get
Yeah, he
paid
wanted to
that
make money.
way. And
so right now, he's basically just, is he still taking the pictures?
He's still taking
So
the
he's
pictures
just- so
and,
he's doing the goodness of his heart,
Yeah.
the softer. Okay,
yeah,
and then he'll and then we find out we're having well, I can't see why we're not having a basketball program. Because that would mean that Narragansett isn't having a middle school or high school basketball program.
No, but those students are in the school after school and then it gets cleaned after school. It's different when you're having the elementary school kids come into the high school and use it on the weekends when there's not
Right, and
full-time.
that's a matter of, it's about cleaning
Yeah,
the gym.
we'll need clarification from the school
Right.
district if
All
we're
right.
able to do that.
I'll email that tomorrow.
I mean, because,
Yeah.
That's why they had to move travel to.
You look long enough, you know.
Ah, fine. All right, anybody have anything else?
Next meeting.
The next meeting,
Yeah, well,
when are we gonna have the next meeting?
Well,
Do you wanna go a couple weeks out? Do you wanna go a month out?
we don't want to go too far because we have to deal with
Basketball.
basketball.
All right, so 2 weeks would be. let me show it down. All right, so if you wanna go 2 weeks, we got October 7th.
Okay. Is the Templeton, are you guys open that
Do
day?
you know about any conflicts in early October
Does that work for
for
you?
this room?
For this room?
Yeah. for
Early
TCTV?
I'm not sure. I can check with you.
What day is the 7th?
It's on a Thursday.
Is that
I mean, you can
Thursday?
do do you wanna?
October 7th is an advisory committee meeting.
Okay, do you wanna do, wait. The 6th?
The 6th?
That's a Wednesday, that's usually
Maybe
booked here.
selectmen.
Yeah, it's probably selectmen.
Oh, my lord.
Is it Mondays? I think, I don't know who does Mondays and Tuesdays. Board of Health,
On Tuesdays?
No, Mondays.
Mondays.
What about Tuesday?
The 5th?
Yeah,
I think it's open on here, but I check with Hannah.
Anna? Is she my owl?
What
Yeah.
date, sorry?
October 5th, I see the 1:30, but I don't see it.
Just the 1:30? Yeah, we're open at 6:30 on the October 5th.
My boy has soft practice from 5:30 to 6:30. So it could be like 6:45.
Can we do 7?
Can we
have
do-
basketball games.
You do
Can we do 7?
Can you guys do 7?
I'm pretty sure we can do 7.
You can do 7, okay.
All right. Now, there is another office as you come in the building that used to have a great big table.
Yeah, but we have to be on
We have
TV.
to
and
be
the
You
on
have
cameras
to
are
be on
there.
TV.
Oh.
Yeah, you love it.
No, I don't love
Me
it.
either.
No.
It's not fun, right?
Everybody wants
We
to
like
see
the
your
old
smiling
days.
face.
They're not going to be quick.
Joy, you're such a ball of sunshine.
You're right.
Do we accomplish anything?
All right, I make a motion to close the
We
meeting.
got basketball, well, that's if we can have
Second that.
basketball.
Aaron,
Yes.
Chris,
I abstain.
What?
Yes.
Derek,
Yes.
Candy,
Yes.
Joy.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that adjourns